Good morning. Welcome to the Church of the Angels. We are an independent, non-denominational interfaith spiritualist assembly, and all who entered here are valued for their unique qualities. We gather in safe community to worship as equals in an exchange of energy through love, thought, and communication. My name is Rev Cindy Vinecournt. I am your facilitator today. We'll spend about an hour together with sharing and song and some prayer. A few things as we get started. You may join us today with just your audio if you choose. You don't have to use your video option. Because service is being recorded so that we can share it with more folks, I also ask that all participants please keep themselves muted throughout the majority of the service, and because we found any background noise kind of interferes with everybody's enjoyment. And during the sharing portion, if you want to be called on, or if you have a comment or a question, just raise your hand like this, or your little raise your hand button, and I'll try to get to you and so you can unmute yourself and make that comment or have your question. Today we will be celebrating our annual meeting and elections. We will be introducing the church board candidates. We'll hear reports from all the committees, and we'll have some time for messages as well. I want to mention that if you wish to make a donation, you can do so through the Church of the Angels website, and you will also have the opportunity at that time to make that donation a recurring one if you choose. And I want to give a big thank you to all those who have donated
You want to do that
at this point, so that to help us keep us going through this difficult time. Please join me for an opening prayer. Mother, Father, Infinite Spirit, thank you for your blessings on all those today joining us to honor your work and experience your grace and wisdom. Thank you for providing the appropriate thoughts, insights, actions, and all resources for us to gain a better and truer understanding of your love by the words spoken, the healing brought forth here today, and all the message work so that we might lead healthy, happy, and prosperous lives. Thank you for showing us the way to take responsibility for our lives. We are grateful to know that you are with us always. So be it. And today, I'd like to add this Hindu prayer for peace. Oh God, lead us from the unreal to the real. Oh God, lead us from darkness to light. Oh God, lead us from death to immortality. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti unto all. O Lord God Almighty, may there be peace in celestial regions. May there be peace on earth. May the waters be appeasing. May herbs be wholesome, and may trees and plants bring peace to all. May all beneficent beings bring peace to us. May the Vedic law propagate peace all throughout the world. May all things be a source of peace to us, and may thy peace itself bestow peace on all, and may that peace come to me also. Thank you. Let's see, Ann Chaney, you are here, correct? I have asked, yeah, there you are. I've asked Ann to read our statement of principles today. So Ann, if you could go ahead, please.
Okay. There is one creative force of which all life is a part. This one creative force is known by many names and manifestations. We recognize and honor the many names and manifestations of the one creative force, the source of all creation, one in God. The energy of life everywhere is continuous. All consciousness is continuous. Communication is continuous. The energy of life, consciousness, and communication never cease, even after the event that is perceived as death. One creates one's own reality. One creates harmony with the force. Great power of God, all life is a part. It is and will change as one grows in knowledge of the inner self and one's relationship with the God of his understanding. All things are possible with faith, insight, knowledge, understanding, acceptance, and love. Love is the unifying energy of the universe. Love is the energy of the one creative force, the wisdom of God. All life and all mankind are one in the creatorship and healing force of love and with each other. Love is within us and of us. Love is never apart from us. It is we who separate ourselves from the power of love. The force of God works through love and love alone.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you so much. And now we'll have a few moments of quiet meditation so that we can concentrate on going within to find that peace and calm and healing for ourselves and for the world. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Another deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and let it out. Take your time and come back to the present. And please remember that we are always truly connected to the divine. And in this space of calm and peace, please add silently or aloud the names of those you wish to include in this healing energy. Thank you. And use this peace and calm to take care of yourselves and all those around you in your communities and throughout the world in whatever way that you can. And now we're going to raise our vibration a little with a song. And Reverend Bobby is working on the house today, so his house, not the house. So we've got I Can See Clearly Now.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
All right. And I'm sorry if anybody heard my dogs barking during that song. I'm sorry about that. I think they were, I don't know if they were trying to sing or I don't know what they're doing. But anyway, time for a few brief announcements before we get to our board candidates. This Wednesday is our next virtual meditation at 7 p.m. This Thursday is our virtual thought exchange with Patrice, and that's at 7 p.m. as well. Next Sunday is a live service at the church. Fran Dittrich is our speaker. Next Monday, the 16th, is the next development circle, and that's at 7 o'clock. There is no live meditation this month because of the Thanksgiving holiday. So everybody enjoy your Thanksgiving. And I just want to mention upcoming in December, because you might want to get your, well, it's on Zoom, so you don't really need reservations, but you might want to get it on your calendars. We're having a wonderful sound bath healing event with Joshua and Asio on December 4th at 7 o'clock. And there is a specific donation button for that specifically on the website. And then you can get the, I think the Zoom information for that is on Facebook. Does anybody have any announcements from the floor before we continue with our gathering in our meeting today. I'm going to have to take another quick look. Let me see. It doesn't look like it. If I missed you, please. Oh, Judy Naren. Yes, you're muted, hon.
Hi. On Wednesday, the Women's Journal is having a Zoom with Troy Zygmunt, and he does a particular type of therapy that really jumpstarts your body healing and can significantly reduce pain, improve digestion, and a number of other areas that you may be of concern. So if this is something you're interested in, just let me know. Email me, and I'll put my email on the chat and send you an invitation.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you, thank you. All right, does anybody else have an announcement from the floor?
I do.
Patrice. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, the Women's Book Club is meeting every month with a new book every single month, and this coming December 7th, we are going to be discussing the book, if I can get this close, Braiding Sweetgrass, and I'm on page 27, and already I am totally immersed in this. An awesome, awesome book. If you want to join us, you're welcome to join us for 1 month's book, 12 months books. We'd love to have women who are avid readers and want to discuss some really great literature. So message me, or I'll put my information in the chat so that you can contact me. The new members are always welcome.
Awesome. Thanks, Patrice. And that event is also listed on Facebook. They can find the Zoom information for that there as well. For the next 2 months, I believe, is listed. Okay. I think that's, oh, Joey, I see you. I see you. Joey,
No,
I don't know where you are.
mistake.
There you are.
Jenny, that was a mistake. Ignore the hand.
Ignore the hand. Talk to the
Ignore the
hand.
hand.
Forget it. Yeah, okay.
Make it go away.
Okay. Never mind. Thank you, Joey. All right. At this time, I'd like to introduce our board candidates briefly and have them introduce themselves. I'm going to go in alphabetical order. So Ann Chaney, guess who's first? You are a board candidate. Could you kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to participate on the board?
Oh, okay. I've been a member of the church for a few years now. I love the congregation. I love the flow of ideas and the acceptance within the organization. And I don't know, I think I have some skills, organizational skills that may, help the Church of the Angels, and I want to help in any way that I can. That's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ann. Thank you. Fran Dittrich is a friend of mine and is camping right now. So her internet is a bit wonky where she is. So I'm just going to read her bio briefly for Fran Dittrich. The Church of the Angels is an intricate part of my life. The church has added so many facets to my personality and character. I will never be able to compensate the church for what it has done for me, but it aids in diminishing my indebtedness by serving in different roles that involve the administrative aspects of running a church. She has been, in the past, been appointed to the board and been elected to the board in the past. During different terms on the board, she's held the office of secretary and the office of treasurer. She hopes to serve on the board this coming year, especially because of the challenging environment we're currently living in. With the changes brought about due to the coronavirus, we need to be innovative in our thinking on how to best serve our congregation, and she feels she has ideas and opinions to help in achieving this. So that's Fran. Kathy Gilway, are you here? I know you are somewhere. Could you introduce yourself, please? Oh, where did she go? Okay. Well, we'll come back to Kathy because I don't see her at the moment. Okay. Actually, I could read you hers too. Let's do that. Catherine Gilway. My sisters and I found the Church of the Angels on a hunt for spooky things to do together way back when. Ever since, my local sister, that would be Fran, and I have been regular attendees. The church also has played a large part in my husband's Jeff and I's lives. I have lived in the Cleveland area for over 50 years. I'm proud to call this home. We do love to travel though, and try to make a positive impact wherever we travel. She's been happily married to the same man, that would be Jeff, for 49 years, 2 wonderful daughters, 3 3/4 grandchildren, and a rescue dog, Rufus. She comes from a large family with varied attitudes and opinions, and all are alive and still friendly. Having retired in June, she wants to run for the board to provide a new perspective. She would bring a multitude of work and life experiences to the table. She has contributed to the church in several ways and would like to serve in this capacity as well. So that's Kathy Gilway. Reverend Cindy Hudson, you're up.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so probably a lot of you know me, or you've seen me on Zoom or seen me at the live services. And I've been involved with, I started at the church, I think back in 1999, back when it was called United Worship Center. It was located off of Caves Road, out of a woman's home. And then we've moved a few times since then. We've grown, we've changed our name, we've evolved, certainly in the past 21 years. And so from being a participant, as many of you are, to being on the board in a variety of capacities and serving in a variety of functions, this is my church home. This is the place where I get spiritual nourishment. And this is the place where I'm in a community of like-minded people and can celebrate that like-mindedness. So as Fran earlier said, I think in her letter, that it's an opportunity to give back. And it would be a privilege and an honor to be a part of leading this church from 2020 into 2021 and through the days ahead. So that's why I'm running. Thank you.
Thank you. And I see Kathy Gilway. Are you there now? Can you unmute yourself? I don't know. Okay. Kathy's internet, I don't know if it's Kathy's internet or mine right now, but it doesn't seem to be working at this moment. I'm going to move on to Carol Miller. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Okay, I'm muted. Thank you. Yes, I'm honored to be running for the board. I've been a member of Church of the Angels, I think for about 5 years, plus or minus a little bit. At first, I wasn't, extremely active, just coming once in a while. And already serving in ways, giving messages, giving the talk. While we were open, I always brought Sunday goodies. Changed a little bit. I retired. This gives me more time to serve. And as Reverend Cindy Hudson said, I've gotten so much from Church of the Angels that I would like to give back. And I remember one time, Reverend Jenni, when we could meet at the home circle, and we described each other as plants, and you described me as a hosta, just dependable, grow, maybe not the most glamorous plant, but it's going to be there. It's going to be where it's supposed to be growing. So I like that. I like that description, and I would like to bring that to the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you very much. I had forgotten that home circle. I remember it now. Thanks. And Carol makes the best gluten-free Rice Krispie treats, hands down. Anyway, okay. I am going to call on Kathy Gilway, who is on Jeff's computer right now. Could you unmute yourself? Unmute yourself and introduce yourself, Kathy.
Hi, I'm on his phone, so
well, whatever works.
I can't get on the computer, so I don't know what's going on. Everything else works, but this won't. So anyway, I also retired recently, and that frees up some of my time to be more support of the church. I value the church greatly. Both Jeff and I really miss going to church in person and look forward to the day when we can again. So the atmosphere there is unbelievable, and I hope to contribute to helping it grow and maintain its current, or not current, but past atmosphere and attitude toward all people. May peace be with us all in these days.
Thank you, Kathy. All right, Lydia, would you introduce yourself to the folks, please?
I'm going to try this. I don't like doing it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lydia Plescia, and I would love to be on the board. I've had experience with being on the boards, a few boards in my life, and they're basically all the same the way they're ran. And I have been on every position in a board, and I mostly was the president, which I really enjoyed doing that. I'm a person who listens to the people, and I bring it to the group, you know, the board. And it's important to really hear what people say and do the best we can with it. And I would really like to help that. Not that we need improvement, it's just that it's just a place to grow and be just whatever our needs are. I mean, basically, I really would love that. And I love this church. I've only been on this church since January of 2020, but I never want to miss, I don't care where I'm in the United States or abroad. I would never miss this opportunity to be here with all of you. I've never felt so comfortable with people in my life. I just love everybody here, and that's the truth. And I really love truth. And let's see if there's anything else to say that there really isn't, except that I love you all and that I would love to serve and give back like everybody else has said. We're all about the same people here. That's how I see it. Anyway, okay, well, that's all.
Right. Thank you, Lydia. All right, okay. And last but not least, Reverend Carol Wood, would you please give a little introduction?
Good morning, everyone. I can't get myself on the screen. Okay, most of you know who I am. I'm Reverend Carol Wood. I've been with the church almost 10 years now. It's been a gratifying, wonderful experience, not only to be with people in the same like-mindedness, but the community here has been awesome. Made some wonderful friends and connections, and I appreciate you all very much. It's been a pleasure to serve and give back to the church, being on the board, and been on many boards before, but as many have said, this one is unique because I feel we're really doing stuff for Spirit, and it's been a wonderful experience, and I would like to continue that experience. I'm sure there's many new uncharted territories we haven't been to yet, but I love you all. Thank you.
Thanks, Carol. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody, all the candidates who are willing and able and ready to serve on the board this year. Okay, thank you. Now, before we move into the annual meeting portion of today, and it'll be quick, I promise. It won't be long. It won't be too tedious. As a past board member, I'd like to just say a few words. You've heard me speak of the Board of Trustees before, and what an important job that they do, and the important job that they have of keeping the business of the church running smoothly. They keep the rent paid, they discuss and approve workshops and events, approve and purchase supplies, field questions and comments from the congregation, and work tirelessly with Spirit to do what is best for the Church of the Angels. And I want to thank the current board, which will hold their seats until January. Oh my gosh, please do not let me have a brain cramp right now. That would be Reverend Walt Fasser, Reverend Pat Gates, Reverend Cindy Hudson, Reverend Carol Wood, Reverend Vicki Jones, B. Beckbar, and Fran Dittrich. I got them, yay. Okay, so I want to give a big shout out to them as well. Since we have to do our annual meeting and elections a little bit differently this year, your email ballots, your email ones have already been tallied. If you haven't voted yet, and you are an eligible voter, you can do so now by using the private chat feature. Send me a private message. I will make sure that your vote gets counted if you haven't done so already. And I have a record of who has and who hasn't, so I'll be tallying that later. So if you're not sure and you want to make sure that you did, go ahead and give me a private message and I'll double check because I have everybody written down. So voting will close at noon so that I can run a complete tally and announce the new Board of Trustees. Please mentally take a moment and say a prayer of thanksgiving for those wishing to hold a position on the board. And another moment to pray that the coming year is a smooth one with growth and all good things for the highest and best of the church. I also want to give a huge thanks again to Reverend Walt Fasser, who in 2020 is moving into the position of advisor to the board. I want to ask each of you to deeply consider in years to come running for a position on the board. We need your input, we need your energy to keep the church fresh and growing in its best and greatest capacity. Your voice is very important, so please consider serving the church in this way. Does anybody have anything to add to that before we move on? Okay, I don't see anything. So without further ado, we'll move into our quick annual meeting. Actually, we'll start with our, why don't we start with our treasurer report, Reverend Pat Gates. You're still muted, Pat.
All right.
There you go.
Okay, thank you, Reverend Jenny. The report's going to be in two parts today. One you will be able to see online, we hope. And the other, I am just going to verbally give you the report. But first of all, I want to thank everyone on the board and people I've met throughout being treasurer. I've been treasurer for a number of years, and I have decided it was time to let somebody else be part of the board. So for October, our income for October, and I'll break it down because you won't see this. Development Circle was $20. Minister cards was $11. Donations were $531. The seance was $440. And this is in October, so there's more money. Masks, we had an additional $140. And also what we've done, we have a second account. And I transferred $1,000 from that second account to our, let's call it our bill paying account. So for the income counting that $1,000 was $2,142. Our year-to-date total counting everything, you'll see more of that when I do the budget part of this, was $14,951.50. Our expenditures was payroll, $458.74. Taxes and fees was $398.94. And I have to explain how that works sometimes. Sometimes they do it at the end of the month, and sometimes they do it at the beginning of the month, so we pay the fee twice, and that's what happened in October. Our rent was $750. Our church phone was $49.90. The donations through PayPal have a fee. We paid $17.93 in PayPal fees. Our total expenditures was $1,709.51. Our year-to-date expenditures is $18,517.55. So we are $3,600 in the hole. We do have a second account for emergencies, and that second account has $15,160 in it. There is one thing I would like to add before I move on to the budget. With the PayPal donations, which are very much appreciated, if you would be so kind to mark in the notes what that donation is for. If it's for, some people are marking it like for Development Circle. A lot of the seance tickets were not marked. Reverend Jenny had to go through them and mark them, and I missed a couple until this morning, so they were marked. So it would help me for the next couple months, but it would also help the new treasurer, whoever that may be, to have a more accurate report of where our income is coming from. So I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try to do a share screen for the budget. Nope, get rid of that. Come on. Okay, how do I get this?
Do you want me to do it, Pat? Do you want me to share the screen and you can talk about it?
Go ahead. Oh, I got it. Never mind.
Okay,
I got it.
never mind.
So you can see I did a comparison between 2019 and 2020 to date. So we've got 2 more months, but you can see the difference in our income, which has been drastically reduced.
Actually, Pat, we're not seeing it. I'm gonna go ahead and try to share it.
Okay, you try to share.
I'll try. Hang on one second, please.
Okay.
Let's see. I want to share. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm trying to find it. Why don't you keep talking? I'll find it here.
Okay. Well, I have a copy of it in front of me, so.
Okay.
I have not tried to project anything for 2021 because we just don't know what's going to happen. And so therefore, again, and I want to thank the people who have been very generous in their donations that have, and the people who are donating not only funds, but paying for some of our expenditures by not turning in bills. So that's been a big help too. So again, I have not tried to.
Here we go.
Okay, there we go. So that, okay. So you can see, or I hope you can see, Jenny, you can, yes, I haven't put anything projected for next year, but you can see where our income is usually coming from and what is really down. So we haven't, our faculty use rent has gone way down because we're not using I should say facility rent, because we're not using the church. Our spirit fare was really down because I think, and that was the beginning of using Zoom as a meeting, and people were not used to it, and I think they were afraid of it. And you can see where the seance actually picked up. It's still a little less than what we normally get, but it did better this year on Zoom. We aren't doing pop-up shops this year, although no, they haven't given us a lot of income, but it's been a lot of fun for our congregation to come in and bring their goods in to try to sell. And donations are up only because I don't know whether it's a Sunday service donation or it goes to something else. So sorry, you get stuck in donations. You can see I transferred $2,500 from our emergency account to help us get by. Also, which is not on, well, it should be on there. I was putting in $50 a month into that account last year. He, continued to build it, and fortunately, it gave us a little more money to work with. Our mass sales were great. We did $2,000 in our mass sales. So now we go down to our expenditures. Our rent will go up the beginning, well, in March of next year. So we will be paying an extra $25 a month starting in March. Payroll is the same. The fees and the taxes, we might have something to play with there. Our cell phone has been pretty much the same. It's been going up a little bit every month. We have not had anybody come in and clean, but if we start using the church, we're going to have to do that. We do print, we do printing. We get the membership books and the history books are printed. So that was why. That's their supplies. And we haven't used a whole lot of supplies this year, but that's our cups, our plates, our silverware. Treasure supplies, that was ink for the computers, stamps, book, envelopes, that type of thing. Website MailChimp, you see a large number there this year compared to last year, but we paid for 5 years on our, it's our website, not the MailChimp, not, it's the domain. Is that the one? Is that what I want, Jenny? The domain?
Yeah, the GoDaddy, the host.
The host.
Yeah.
Our church insurance goes up a little bit every year, but we have to carry it for the church itself, and I think for the board. And our seance readers did not ask for any payment, so they donated their time, and so thank you very much for doing that. And the only other, it's not really a large expense, but we do pay our speakers a $25 fee if they are not on the board. Board members do not get paid. And again, fortunately, most of our speakers have waived the speaker's fee. So thank you very much for doing that. This year we did something different. Well, last year we forgot the Angel Awards. So this year, the Angel Awards is what we recognize people who are not on the board, but who have donated their time, their energy for specific things. So, and leadership gifts, we talked about this long before COVID started, and we recognize that our people who are doing our meditation and our development circle are not being acknowledged. They don't get paid for doing those. They donate their time and energy for getting them ready each meeting. So we honored them this year. Sorry, with a slight donation. So our grand total for this year so far, again, is $18,517.55. And I projected $21,195 for next year. So we need a lot of prayers to hit that amount. We were very close the year before. We actually were in the black at the end of last year, so that was really nice. And if anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Hang on one second. I've got to get a bigger view here to resize and see if anybody, if anybody has any questions, instead of me looking for you, I'd like you to unmute and say something, because right now with the shared screen, I want to leave that up for Pat. I can't hunt for you guys with any raised hands.
Hi, this is Reverend Cindy. Can I just ask a quick question? Excuse me. So year to date, we've had to transfer $2,500 from our emergency fund to our working fund, so to speak. And so that, oh my gosh, the frog is contagious. So that fund, that amount's obviously gone down over the course of the past year. Do you project needing to do another transfer of funds for November or December?
Not for November, because because of the seance has, helped our bottom. And again, we've had some very generous donators that you're not seeing because they're in November's income. So I don't see us doing that in November, and we'll see what happens with our income in December.
Yeah.
But right now, right now it's a little better than it's been. And the other thing that I want to bring up is there's an outstanding check for $750 that goes back to last year, and we've tried contacting the people. I'm going to try again to find out what happened to that check. So there's that. to pay for a month's rent if we ever find out what's going on with it.
So this is Dale, and I have a question. My question is, with the income for 2020 at 15,000, and the even with the $2,500 transfer, and the expenses being over 18,000, how are you able to cover that $3,000 difference without making additional transfers?
We started out the new year with a good amount in the checking account, which you don't see in there. But like I said, we ended up last year with more money in our account. And again, I took some of that $2,500 that I took from the other account was part of the $600 I transferred throughout the year for last year. So basically, you know, we increased that that second account, and $500 of that $2,500 was money I took for the leadership gifts.
So how much money is in checking account number 1 at this time?
Hold on a minute. I have to. Find my paper here that I can't get to it right now. Sorry. Not a lot.
Not a lot. Okay, fine.
Not a lot.
All right.
Now I think close to $1,000. Not much
Okay.
more than
Okay.
not much
Thank
than
you.
that.
Close enough. Thank you.
All right, any other questions for Pat? All right, I'm gonna close this stop share here. Or I mean, close the share screen. You know what I was trying to say. Thank you. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Pat, for that report and for your wonderfulness as being treasurer for us. Thank you so much. Yay and yay. Okay, all right. And I am now going to call on Reverend Cindy Hudson for our secretary's report.
Okay, hi. So this is not as heavy as certainly the treasurer's report, where you can see it's been a challenging year for the church. We did have 9 scheduled board meetings plus 1 extra session. We met live in January, February, and March 10th. And then April, May, July, August, September, and October were all Zoom board meetings. We didn't have a meeting in June. We took a hiatus. And July, we did have kind of an ad hoc meeting. Wasn't a formalized meeting with reports and so forth, but we did want to connect about reopening the church. You might recall that in July, we did a survey about people's comfort level and concerns about opening the church. So we did have a wraparound meeting about that. We had our annual retreat in February, courtesy of Reverend Andrea Zwigat. She opened up her home for us to have a spot to meet for the day and go through the agenda for the year as what we thought it was going to be back in February. And then, like I said, we did talk an extra session in March to discuss the need to close down the church and what do we do now and moving forward into Zoom. Let's see, we have the meeting minutes were shared by email to the board members. And then there's also a book at the church where we would have the meeting minutes posted so people could review them. However, we're not at the church on a regular basis at this point. So if anybody is interested in looking at the meeting minutes for this 2020 year, let me know, send me an email, and I'll be happy to send you out some information and send you out the meeting minutes. And so we did start opening up the church, so that's kind of work in progress. But like I said, for the bulk of 20, we've been closed down, so that's what our meetings have been focused on. So that is the secretary's report.
Thank you, Cindy. Reverend Cindy, would you please, in case anyone is interested in seeing those minutes, would you please put your email into the chat box, please?
I sure will. Can I do
Thank
that
you.
after my committee report? Because it looks like I'm
Yes,
first.
you can, because yeah, you're up next.
Yes, I'm up
Okay.
next. So again, if you've got other questions, just be sure I'll send you my email. So, so one of the other roles that I fulfill, all the board members kind of have a area of, I'll say, responsibility or whatever. So I support the facilities and hospitality. I support the Sunshine Committee. I'm kind of the landlord liaison so that they only have to connect with one person. And so, you know, we change board presidents, we change roles within the board, but we just decided to designate one person. So with facilities, I've been in contact with the landlord when we were meeting at the church about issues in the ladies' restroom and some of those kinds of things. We haven't had to do much with hospitality. With Sunshine, I have sent out, with Sunshine, I have sent out 22 cards through the course of the year, and I think 3 memorial gifts to those who have lost very close, dear family members. So I've been able to fulfill that role with Sunshine Committee, and facilities hospitality has been kind of low key. So
Cindy,
that's
Cindy,
it.
could you explain? Could you explain just real quick what the Sunshine Committee is?
So yeah, you know, thank you for saying something, because I really want to give a shout out to everybody who lets the church know, you know, if you know of somebody, one of our congregants, or in your own personal life, or you're having some struggles or challenges, or something wonderful happen, please let the church know, because we would love to recognize and honor that, you know, sad or happy event. But we don't know if you don't tell us. And so the Sunshine Committee is a committee of one. My role is to help celebrate and honor and recognize the major events that are going on in people's lives. So whether it's an illness or, you know, an honor that they've received from whatever workplace or retirement, or, well, I don't always even know about retirements ahead of time. Let us know, and we would be happy to reach out to you as a church to acknowledge the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it might be, and let you know that, you know, you are dear to us. And just like family members reach out to each other with cards, sometimes your church family wants to do the same, but you've got to let us know so that we can celebrate that. Okay. Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you, Cindy. All right. The next committee we'll hear from is the Healing and Mediumship Committee. That would be Reverend Vicki Jones, please.
Yes, we've been working, Carol Wood and I and Jenny, all of us have been having classes and development, and we've been moving along with folks learning healing and mediumship. And as soon as we get back in the church, we'll have everyone demonstrate how they are. And I believe Carol and Jenny are working on a program to qualify a medium. So not to be scared of it if you're a medium out there that wants to get certified with the church, you know. So just keep that in mind for later. End of report.
End of report. Okay, thanks, Vicki. All right. Next we have facilitators and speakers. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Was there a question, Pat? Yes.
No, I want to answer Dale's question, if I may.
Yes, please do.
So at the end of October, we had a little over $800 in the checking account. As of this week, we have about $2,500 in the checking account with the donations, and we began our year with $4,400 in the checking account. So you can see where that you were inquiring about that discrepancy, but that we had $4,400 at the beginning of the year. So I wanted to give Dale that information. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you very much. All right, facilitators and speakers, I have been in charge of that committee, but I've asked B. Beckbar to give the report for that, please, today. All right, if you can't get yourself unmuted, I'll do it. All right, we can actually work on that, B, and I'll move on to the next one. You work on that, okay? Because the next one, yeah, you're still muted, B. I'm gonna move on to the next one and come back to you, B, okay? The next committee would be the Music Committee. And again, I had asked Fran Dittrich to do the report on that, but I do have that here with me, so I can give that to you. Even with our unusual year, we have gained another musician for Sunday services. Thank you for joining us, Anthony Gregorio. Between Reverend Bobby Zabrowski and Anthony, most of our services online have had live music. With the recommendation of our music director, which is Reverend Bobby, and the reopening committee, it was decided that during live services, we would only use CDs in the stereo until further notice. And there really have been no other noteworthy news for the music committee this year. So there's that. And now back to B with facilitators and speakers.
Yeah, now hear this. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We have been blessed with an abundance of facilitators during the first few months of the year. There have been some new folks who went through instruction with Rev Cindy Hudson and stepped up to be facilitators this year. Since March and the onset of online services through Zoom, Rev Jenni Vinecournt has been holding down the fort with the assistance of Rev Cindy Hudson. It has been a learning process for all of us and has turned out to be a blessing, as it has brought new people into our services. As for speakers this year, we have also been blessed with a variety of speakers, many of whom have learned how to join us on Zoom. Reverend Jenni is incredibly grateful that when she has asked, the congregation has stepped up to the plate and filled in wherever needed. We look forward to new growth in this area in the coming year, with more of you offering to learn how to facilitate at either live services or on Zoom.
Da-da-da. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. B. And I forgot to ask, are any questions on the music committee and or the facilities and speakers committee? Any questions? Okay. All right, membership and communication committee. That would be me. That includes the MailChimp, the newsletter sent out, the website upkeep, that kind of thing. So I'm going to give you the report for November and then our annual report. In November, the newsletter will be sent out for November tomorrow. I have it ready to roll. I just wanted to wait until after the meeting to send it. The website in October, there were 2,115 visits. And so far this month, about 100. It's kind of low. I'm not sure why, but that's a little low for us. The average monthly visits on our website are about 2,500. And there were 4 new subscribes from the website since the last meeting. Now, the annual report for membership and communication, since the last annual meeting, we've sent out 9 newsletters. With the rapidly changing news this year, we did send out 7 special notices and 1 survey using that MailChimp account. We have made use of Facebook this year by posting all events in person and online through that site. Also have posted the recordings of our online services on Facebook and on our website. Events are also posted on Meetup and the online calendar as well. So if I miss one, somebody always reminds me and I get it caught up. The link to the online calendar is also found on the website. We've tried to make more use of the website this year, as well as by posting the recordings of our online services. They are recorded onto Zoom and then uploaded to YouTube. And then I take the link from YouTube and post it on the website. So you can catch it on YouTube, you can catch it on Facebook, you can catch it on the website. The website is updated at least once a month and now updated weekly with the service recordings. There's an average of 3 to 4 new signups for our newsletter through the site per month. We lose an average of a couple of those every couple of months who no longer want to get the newsletter, but that's, that's kind of normal. And our monthly average hits on that site are, like I said, about 2,500. So that's the membership and communication report. Are there any questions on that? Okay. Next up, we have Reverend Joey Wantz talk about the prayer team, please.
Okay, first, whoa, I just dropped you. First, I'd like to thank the prayer team for their time and wonderful work. I sometimes feel like they don't get enough credit, but anyways, that's just me. We have 31 members on the prayer team, and on an average, we have about 28 requests a month. Now that's names, maybe that could be multiples on one request, but we get about 28 requests for prayers a month. And lately we haven't been getting feedback, which I loved when we were getting feedback. So that's something, but I try to keep the members on the team know that when we get thank yous, that they get the thank you as well, because it shouldn't just come to me. But most of my requests actually come from members within the prayer team, that someone requests that they know they're doing it. I get very few from the site, the church site. So, I mean, it really is a work in progress all the time, because not only are they praying, but they're also finding people to pray for. And I think that's a wonderful thing. And I also like the fact that everybody knows it's not just prayers for people getting well. They know they can about pets situations. And I really respect the fact too that, you know, people understand that I can't always tell them what the prayer, I don't always give them all the information, because I don't feel it's up to me to make that decision. You know, if someone says it's okay, I do it. But I try to at least make the request take care of the whole situation that's needed. And that's the prayer team. And I thank them all again.
Thank you, Joey, for leading the prayer team. Does anybody have any questions for Reverend Joey? Okay, your dog does, yeah.
Someone actually has the nerve to be in the woods 2 doors away.
All right, thank you, Joey. Thank you so much. And for our last committee report, the reopening committee, Reverend Cindy, would you give us an uptake on that, please?
Okay, so as you know, last week on the 1st of November was our first live session again that we held, and we're going to do it again on the 15th, so next Sunday. And as I mentioned before, I think, you know, for time change and post-holiday and whatever, the newness of it, we didn't have as many people there as we could have, which is fine. It gave us a chance to work out our bugs as well. So the reopening committee met at the church a couple times. We had some conference calls, so thank you to Fran Dittrich and Reverend Pat Gates for their input and sharing with ideas. So what we do now is that there's ribbons across the back of the chair that are flapped over the seat, indicating maybe you shouldn't sit there, which is true. However, that gives us the flexibility that if there's like a family of 4 that comes in, or a couple or individuals, we can move the ribbons out of the way and seat people with respect to social distancing. And yet we were able to keep all of the chairs in the same space because we don't have anywhere to store the chairs. So it worked. That was a great idea that I believe Fran had. Pat, I don't want to take that away from me. Okay, it was Fran. So that's kind of how we roll. We do take temperatures as you enter. We do have an usher to seat people so we can, again, be mindful of the distancing. The services are a little bit shorter. And a lot of the guidelines are posted on our website, as well as they're outside our door. Like obviously, you know, if you're not feeling well and that type of thing, we would ask that you refrain from participating, and you do need to wear a mask throughout the service, covering your nose and mouth, with the exception being that I think that sometimes it's hard for people to understand a medium or a speaker or facilitator when they're at the podium if they don't have if they have a covering over their mouth. So again, it's a little bit of a work in progress as we sort out what's going to work best for everybody. And I do want to kind of give the consideration that, you know, there's still a lot of concern out there and numbers are growing. At least it's really dismaying to me to see how fast the numbers are growing. So if either Geauga County or one of our surrounding counties like Cuyahoga or Lake do turn into a purple county, meaning that's extremely high rate of transmission, we would probably have to stop doing the live services again. And the other thing that might prohibit us doing live services is if concerns persist, and you know, understandably so, if we don't have enough people to work the service to help get people seated or read temperatures or bring through messages, we may also have to convert to all online again. So we'll have to play that by ear, but we're still slated to go next weekend, the 15th, for a live service. And kind of I think it's almost going to be a week-to-week thing yet again, because our numbers are shifting so quickly. So I wanted to give that update. So thank you, Reverend Jenny.
Thank you, Cindy. And now quickly on to our regular church events. Sorry, Cindy, you're up again with meditation. There you go.
I muted myself too soon, huh?
That's all right. Sorry.
How often does
I didn't
that
give you much
happen?
warning.
No, that's right. I should know. So with meditation, we had the opportunity in July to start because we know that it's a stressful time. So a shout of gratitude to Reverend Renee Roth, who offered to host a Zoom meditation on the second Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. So she is holding Zoom sessions the second Wednesday of the month. And as of August, I started holding live meditation circles at the church on the fourth Wednesday of the month. August, we had pretty good turnout. September was smaller. October was smaller yet. And because it's pre-holiday, as Jenny earlier mentioned, we won't meet in November. I plan to meet again in December live at the church the fourth Wednesday, with Renee consistently holding second Wednesdays online. You know, it's a great opportunity, and I think it's something that we all could use right now to kind of recalibrate ourselves during the stressful days. So I certainly encourage you to join by Zoom or join live as this is working out for you. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, Reverend Carol Wood, would you give us an update, an annual update for the Development Circle, please?
Okay. Yes, the Development Circle, we've been fortunate that we've been pretty consistent this year and meeting in person as well as on Zoom. And I want to thank everybody that's joined us on Zoom. Me and Vicki are still enjoying doing the circle. We've seen a lot of growth this year, especially leading up to the seance event. So that's been very rewarding. And it is nice to see people grow into their gifts. Going forward, we have a lot of things planned, of course, for next year, whether we're on Zoom or live, and want to know how much we do appreciate everyone's participation and their donations. And I think that's about it.
Thank you, Reverend Carol. Patrice, how about the Women's Book Group? You want to re-mention that again and let us know how it's going?
I took over at the request of Reverend Jenni in August of 2018, and at that time we chose books by general consensus. We meet once a month, first Monday of each month at 6 p.m. and we used to discuss a specific number of chapters, which meant that reading a book could last anywhere from 5 to 8 months. So in September, I proposed to the group that we start reading one book a month, and that each member would have an opportunity to select their choice without consensus, which opened the subject to a diversity of topics. That member would lead the discussion as well during that group. So in doing that, we have completed 2 books. Born a Crime by Trevor Noah, which was a fascinating book about apartheid in South Africa, and Magdalene's Lost Legacy by Margaret Starbird, which is about symbolic numbers and the sacred union in Christianity. So really very big diversity of topics. On average, we have about 7 members regularly attending, and these are women who are pretty much regular contributors. We have diverse taste in subjects, and in having each member choose their own book, we're getting the best of a book club. We are reading selections that aren't our own choices, that broaden our perspectives and viewpoints, and which always lead to a very exciting and interactive discussion. Ladies are welcome to join us for one book or for the entire year, but we really do enjoy each other's participation, and we are always open for meeting new interactive ladies. So thanks.
Thank you, Patrice. And I am a part of that book group, and I want to say that yeah, join us because it's really kind of fun, and yeah, you definitely are reading, getting a lot out of the reading material as well. Okay, and there's one that I didn't have on the agenda on a regular church event because it's a new one, the thought exchanges we've been having online. And that's come out of COVID as well, that we are regularly having second Thursday evenings and fourth Tuesday afternoons, just an hour-long thought exchange, nothing planned ahead of time, just what questions are brought on that day. And so those have been going well, and I have recently enlisted Patrice's help to do the Thursday evenings, and I take charge of the Tuesday afternoons. And that's been going on for the last few months, and I believe that they will continue no matter what happens with anything. I believe we'll continue on with the thought exchanges because they are they're growing. They're slow right now, but they're growing, and they seem to be very well enjoyed. Okay, so now moving on to our president's report from Reverend Vicki Jones.
Yes, hello everyone. I want to thank everyone that has helped this year to keep things going. You know, as a board and a church, this year has brought us a lot of challenges and new ideas, a lot of learning curve for all of us with this internet. But I feel as a church, we've moved forward with all this, things that we were planning with this internet and whatnot. A year ago, it's pushed us like 5 years ahead. You know, it was down the road. We were thinking about doing all this, Zoom and YouTube and all that. Well, this COVID has pushed us, and it's all new, and we're learning. And it's we all had to have patience this year, and everyone put 110% into getting this going, and it's been frustrating sometimes. Sometimes we can't get on, but somehow we prevail and move forward with it. It's been, you know, just keep moving with this. Also, I hope that we can start some classes going on Zoom. We've started some. I think people are more comfortable now with the Zoom. So anyone interested in having a class or anything should contact a board member. And also, we've been, you know, we started this year pretty good in our financials. And as the year progressed, we came to do some fundraisers. You know, the development group had that live reading in February. That was fabulous. But then we had to have the Zoom fair, the Halloween Zoom. You know, the book sales from Linda, the mask sales from folks, and the sage sales, plus more. I mean, it's just been constant trying to do fundraisers and different things to bring in money from the church. We need to bring in more money, and that's what we've been doing. I appreciate everyone with all the donations. You know, we still have to pay rent, insurance, all this. Just like if you were not living in your own home, you still have to pay, you know, you have to pay, you know. So thank you. Keep us in your prayers for that. And as we move forward during COVID, we as a board will continue to find new ways to bring you the best of the Church of the Angels that we cherish and love. We want to thank all the members, the volunteers, and all those who help keep us going during this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Vicki. Thank you so much. And thank you for your participation as president of the board this year, the past couple of years. Thank you. All right, and now for a pastor's report, and that would be me. I'm going to give you and I'll try to make this quick as we are running long on time here, but I will give you the November report and then an annual report. So if I talk too fast and you have questions, unmute and ask, please. Okay. Total hours in October were 52 recorded hours. The phone calls, there were only 3 calls in the last month. Most of what we get in the phone calls are junk calls. There are a couple usually per month. Well, I'll get to that, but there are usually a couple per month that are asking about services or events or whatnot. But anyway, we are continuing the online church services with Reverend Cindy's help, facilitating once a month on that, and which may not be happening now if you're going to be helping out with more with live services, you know, so that may be adjusting. We actually have 17 subscribers on our YouTube channel, so I thought that was pretty cool. Our online attendance average is 30 to 40. Online opening dates and procedures for the live church services are posted on the website, on Meetup, on Facebook, all of that. We've had the first of the live services, which you already heard about. Already told you about the online thought exchanges. I did complete, as a pastor, I did the scheduling and receiving of the payments for the online seance, and that went well. I've also just begun the minister card project again for the end of the year. So all the ministers who would like a card, the fee is still $10. Get to me via email. And also, I am also now donating the $16 per month for the church's separate Zoom account, because what I found is that I have two Zoom accounts. Any rate, they are started overlapping with classes that I was teaching and events that the church was having. So we had to do two separate. So I am donating the church Zoom account money for that. So anyway, annually, average reported hours per month, 45 to 50. Average phone calls per month are 4 to 5. January and February of this year, we did collect foodstuffs again for the Hunger Task Force. In March, we implemented more of the online presence with some live Facebook posts and the Zoom. We began the Zoom services in April, and it took a couple tries before we remembered to record them and get it straight. But since then, we've had just about all of them available to watch via YouTube or the links that are posted. The meditations were increased to twice monthly, as Reverend Cindy mentioned. We did lose some revenue from classes and events that would have been held over the church at the church over this past year. We implemented the twice monthly thought exchanges, and through these new avenues, we've reached new folks in other states and have even picked up a few members through the new avenues that we've pursued. Our Leadership Sunday was postponed in March and was held online in July, where we honored our leaders with a certificate and a small monetary gift. We did hold the online Spirit Fair event this year and the Seance event. In August, we also, honored our volunteers during the Sunday service. The remainder of the year looks to be a combination at this point of online and live services. We've had lots of folks request that no matter what happens, we continue with the online services. Even if we go back to the building full time. So that's also in the works. And I want to mention that our Christmas service this year will be online. We'll have a wonderful holiday sound bath healing event with Joshua coming up early in December. Let's see. And I want to mention that after much prayerful thought, myself and the board have decided, and because of, to recoup some of the money, I want you all to be watching for a capital campaign letter. They were sent out on Friday. Every member will be receiving one. There will also be a GoFundMe account, which we are going to be using for this fundraiser specifically. The fundraiser starts as soon as I get that out, which will be this afternoon, and it will go to the end of December. Our goal is to reach blessings of $10,000. And your donations, large or small, will be tax deductible if you choose. You can request a letter if you want that for your tax purposes, if that's still available. I'm not even sure if that works anymore. But when we reach or surpass that goal, we'll be able to offer at least $2,000 to local programs, because we've designated 20% of whatever we bring in to go to local programs. So your participation in this capital campaign will help the church and help those in our community as well. It's called, so if you want to look it up at GoFundMe or watch, because I'll be posting it everywhere, it's called Living in the Light, Serving Spirit and Sharing. And that's the name of the campaign for this year. And as I said, the launch date officially is tomorrow. It will go through to December 31st. And so watch for that. And that was the bigger news that I had. And okay, from Kathy Gilway to everybody, I have a question here. How do we access the church YouTube channel? Let me make a note of that, Kathy, and I will, because actually I don't know offhand. I think it is called the Church of the Angels at YouTube, but I will double check that and post that on Facebook so that everybody can do that. I will post, making myself a note at this moment. Does anybody have any further questions about any of the reports or the capital campaign coming up? Anything that I can help with? And then this time I am going to look. Yes. So who had a question?
This is Dale.
Yeah, Dale.
And I have a question about the capital campaign.
Certainly.
Besides the 2,000 that's going for the neighborhood programs, is the remaining 8,000 is the purpose to restore the reserve fund, or are there some physical improvements that you normally think of a capital campaign being for that
Okay,
The
it
purpose.
was, I understand the question. And it was my decision to use the capital campaign for just a fundraising to recoup what we, to kind of recoup the reserves. So there
Okay.
is no building fund no, it is just to recoup reserves.
Okay, thank you.
Certainly. Anybody else? Judy Naren, yes, unmute, please.
Yeah, two things, I guess. One, I have some ideas that might assist with the raising the capital.
Okay.
And one of them would be exchange links, because you could draw a lot more people in. So for those sites or those people that might want, because 2,500 is a pretty good number of for activity to your website. So they're like with the women's journals, we could link in and you guys could link in with us if that feels compatible. But additionally, you might be able to even generate revenue for people who want to place an ad there for things that you feel are compatible with your that you feel good about. And then, so that's one piece of it. And then the other piece would be, how does somebody go about submitting for the training for facilitator?
Okay. You know what? We will put up a link. Cindy, we'll work on that, and we'll get out a link for that, because Reverend Cindy Hudson, I don't know if you're going to continue that, but she has in the past done the facilitator training. But we may have to revisit that to see about how, and I will talk to you personally, Judy, about maybe facilitating on Zoom, and we can figure that out. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I love everybody in the church, and if I can be of service, I'd really like to.
Awesome. Thank you, Judy. Thank you so much. All right. Any other questions? I'm looking. Okay. If I have skipped you and you want to say something, you better unmute and say it now, because I'm not seeing you. Okay. All right. So, because we are at 12:26 at this moment, I'm going to thank you for your kind attention, and I want to thank you to all the participants and mediums, and especially the Spirit and God of your understanding, for being with us today and always. For those of you who may be with us new today, which I don't think we have any new ones today, but you can learn more about the church at the Church of the Angels, www.thechurchoftheangels.net, or you can email us at thechurchoftheangels@gmail.com. And I want to say that after tallying all of our ballots this year, I am pleased to announce your new Board of Trustees: Ann Chaney, Fran Dittrich, Catherine Gilway, Reverend Cindy Hudson, Carol Miller, Lydia Plescia, and Reverend Carol Wood. So congratulations. And I have asked this new board to stay connected a bit longer after everybody else goes away today, so that they can have a short introductory meeting. So thank you again. And we will, I'm going to ask one more time for any comments before we have our closing song and closing prayer. And I don't see any. So here we go. Well, maybe.
Jenny?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
So sorry, but I do see a question in the chat box. Do children need masks for live services? And obviously infants don't, but we would recommend that children wear masks as well, especially when they're going into schools and love to touch surfaces, that if there's any, again, depending on the age of the child, but we would strongly recommend masks for children as well. Just wanted to answer that question while we had a public platform for a minute.
Thank you very much, Cindy, because I missed it. Thank you. And thank you for asking it, Katie. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now, it's a good thing it came through, because my old-fashioned CD player wasn't working, so we're going to try it again. We're going to try it one more time. Hey. I'm not sure that's what I wanted, but okay, that's what we got.
Jesus, joy, joy down in my heart, down in my heart, down in my heart. I felt the joy, 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 joy down in my heart, down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart, down in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love Jesus in my heart. What else you got? I've got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Where down in my heart? Where down in my heart? I've got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Where down in my heart to stay? And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart, down in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. I've got the wonderful love of my blessed Redeemer way down in the depths of my heart. Way down in the depths of my heart. Way down in the depths of my heart. I've got the wonderful love of my blessed Redeemer way down in the depths of my heart. Way down in the depths of my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart, down in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart. I've got the love of Jesus in my heart.
And our closing prayer is from St. Teresa. May today there be peace within. May you trust God that you are exactly where you are meant to be. May you not forget the infinite possibilities that are born of faith. May you use the gifts you have received and pass on the love that has been given to you. May you be content in knowing that you are a child of God. Let this presence settle into your bones and allow your soul and the freedom to sing, dance, praise, and love. It is there for each and every one of us. Thank you.